Hey, I'm Ewan, and today I'm here to talk to you about the Rabaconda Street Tire Changer. I'm very excited about this thing because I think it's incredibly innovative for the at-home tire change, and there's some pretty cool stuff that they're doing with this product. So let's dive into Rabaconda. Rabaconda got their start back in 2012 by two enduro riders who were looking for a more efficient and easier way to change out their tires at home. The word Rabaconda actually refers to a mythical snake-like creature that nests itself on the side of an off-road trail. So the point being, it's something you're going to come across inevitably. So Rabaconda is here to try to help you out when you do reach your first tire change. Back in 2012, they came out with their dirt tire changer, but since then, they've come out with the street tire changer, which we're looking at today, as well as the mini tire changer and their wheel balancer, along with a whole other slew of accessories for all three of them. So who is this for? This is for street bike riders, dual sport riders, anybody with a cast rim, a spoked rim, a tubeless tire, a tube tire that is looking to change their own tires. This whole thing folds down into the little bag you see over here, and you can bring it with you wherever you're going. If you're running track days and you're wearing down your slicks asymmetrically because you're taking the same right turn over and over again, and you need to swap them, you can do that right trackside at the paddock in a matter of minutes. If you're a stunt guy and you're going to the parking lot to go shred a couple tires and you're sick of just wrenching around with irons, this thing is going to be able to come with you to the lot, and you can swap out as many tires for you and your buddies as you need. The only person it's not for is for you dirt riders running bib mousse inserts. Other than that, this is going to be a versatile tool that can work on pretty much anything. So let's dive into the construction of this thing. It is made from galvanized and powder-coated steel, along with T6 aluminum and some rubber and plastic accents. I think it's really great because it's a sturdy product. You can feel it. It's very durable. So let's get into some of the features that make this thing work so well. First off, up top, we have our bead breaker arm. Nice, long bead breaker arm, which is important when changing street tires because you need a lot of leverage. Sometimes you need some strength, so you get a really good leverage point from this long breaker arm. Other than that, there is the main rock star of this entire process, which is the ratchet here. So this ratchet is designed to mimic the big industrial pro tire shop grade machine that you would find in a tire shop. And instead of being this big, hefty plug-in wall machine, it's just human power driven ratchet, but it's just driving a duck head to remove the bead of a tire and then also install the beads back onto tires. There's all sorts of adjustability too. This is the wheel stopper. Since it's a rotational product, this is going to prevent the wheel from spinning as you go to ratchet. But if you're using spoked rims, this is a bit too gnarly for a spoke rim and it could bend your spokes, so they include a strap to be a little bit more gentle and preserve your rims. Also, these rest points are what are actually going to hold the wheel and the tire up off this stand when you go to swap your tires out. And depending on the width of your tire, you might need to be further off the stand or closer to it to get the best leverage from all acting components. So these are also adjustable as well. This is its own piece, and this metal piece is its own piece. So I think one of the last tires I changed on here was a Harley Softail rear. It's like a really wide tire with a big belt pulley. So I needed to get this up and off the stand a lot more to make space for that belt pulley. But if I was changing something smaller, I could take these metal pieces off and then just put this straight back down onto the stand, and it's just closer. So it's just adjustable all around. This bead breaker arm moves up and down depending on wheel diameter. This duck head and ratchet system moves up and down, adjustable all over the place. So let's talk about sizing, what it's going to work with. This will work on wheels from a 12-inch diameter all the way up to 21 inches. So that's most motorcycle wheels right there. Also, it is going to work for wheel hub diameters of 15 millimeters all the way up to 32 millimeters. But before you get all worried, they do sell all sorts of accessories. This is a larger hub adapter, so this goes all the way up to 68 millimeters for the wheel hub. Or if you have a much more specific wheel hub that you need fixed, there's like all sorts of different accessories you can get. One of them being, say you have a single-sided rear swing arm. You can, like Ducatis, BMWs, they sell accessories for that. This is something that'll go into a BMW GS or anything with that same rear shaft drive. So there's just all sorts of accessibility and customizability that you have. It'll work on pretty much anything you need. Also, you can tell that when this was designed, it was designed by people who change tires frequently. A lot of the times changing tires, I wish I had 4 or 5 or 6 hands, but I only have 2. But there are all sorts of little things hidden away here. This ratchet has an integrated hook that will hold the tire iron in place for you so that you can focus on doing other things. If you were having trouble getting this tire iron in between the bead and the wheel and you just couldn't sneak it in there, this bead breaker arm will come down and push the top of the bead into the drop center to even give you the ability to drive this in there. So all the components work together really well. Also, these drop center tools are included, which are, I'd never seen these actually before using this. It's kind of like a bead buddy, but a really robust one. So what it does is just go in between the rim and the tire to get part of the tire down into the drop center so you can mount the second bead with ease. Because getting the second bead up and over for the final installation of the new tire can be a bit tough. So all in all, really thought out, which is really cool. As far as dislikes, I don't have a lot to dislike about this product, but the one being that it actually doesn't come with a tub of bead grease or a valve core remover tool, which are completely crucial to using this and to using it well. So it's kind of annoying that it doesn't come with it, but they're cheap enough and easy enough to order on your own. So just a little minor thing. Otherwise, changing tube tires on here can be a little bit annoying, but then again, changing tube tires in general is a little bit annoying. Because it's a rotational product, when you go to get the valve stem through the hole in the wheel, sometimes the ratchet will actually have a tendency to pull the tire just enough where the tire and the tube start to rotate on each other and the valve stem will go a little bit out of line. But if you baby powder your tube and you baby powder your tire, it's going to give you a little bit more freedom to just keep an eye on it, make sure you're staying centered as you go around, and it's really not that big a deal. But the one thing that I do want to leave you with, which I think is my biggest takeaway from using this so much and using the Rabaconda dirt changer, is dirt tires in general are a lot more approachable to change on your own using the conventional method of tire irons, a milk crate, whatever you have. They're a lot easier to get away with doing that. Street tires have the potential to become significantly more difficult to change, especially if you're just focused on doing it with tire irons. So I think that the accessibility and the doors that this product opened up for changing street tires definitely outweigh the ease of use you gain with a dirt changer. But at the end of the day, this is a tool. So everything you're going to use with this does require practice. I think the first time you go to change a tire, it's going to take you, I don't know, 30 to 40 minutes. Just budget some time, figure out how all the components work with each other, figure out your workflow, see what works and what doesn't. Don't hurt yourself, don't break anything. But once you're comfortable with it and you've changed a lot of tires on this thing, you can definitely change a tire in like 5 to 10 minutes. So you can get back to your burnouts, you can get back to your track sessions, or you can get back to your touring. I eat through a ton of tires and now I can just do this myself instead of having to bring it to a shop. But if you have any further questions and you want to learn a bit more about what other riders are saying about this Rabaconda street tire changer, go ahead and click the info button. It's going to bring you to our product detail page and you can read other customer reviews, see what other people are saying about this and what their experience has been with it, so you don't just have to listen to me talk about it. But if you have more detailed questions, you want to find out maybe this doesn't work with my garage, my wheel size, go ahead and give our customer service team a call. They're all riders just like you and they'd be happy to help you out with anything that you need. So thanks for joining me in talking about the Rabaconda street tire changer today. I'm Ewan, and I'll see you out there.